I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood.
A few years later.
He ain't pays them bills, baby. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah, it covers that. It definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. Times.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. Does it? Let me see. You don't even. Yo! I'm living beyond my means. It's like. No, my rent is more than that. It's 8,000. I'm living beyond my means, like y'all think.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Angel Reese. Now, this is a video that I had been wanting to make for a long time, but I'm just getting around to making a video because most of my videos going into the election are about actual politics, okay? But we also talk about culture on this channel because culture and politics are intertwined, okay? And what we have here from Angel Reese is just another example of just blatant hypocrisy from modern women that, as a man, I honestly just can't stand, okay? Because this woman went viral complaining, boohoo-whining and crying about being a victim of being sexualized, right? She was boohoo-whining and crying just a year ago when she lost in the college basketball tournament, okay, the NCAA tournament. She lost to Caitlin Clark, and she essentially tried to deflect blame from the loss by boohoo-whining and crying victimhood, okay? And a part of her victimhood was her claiming that she was a victim of being sexualized, right? That she was being harassed, okay? And it's just a very annoying thing because this woman, this WNBA player, has put out a lot of imagery, right? That you could say is her sexualizing herself, right? Her participating in the very thing that she claims that she hates the most. And she's getting a whole lot of backlash because instead of, I don't know, taking time to focus on her game to become a better basketball player, because God knows she needs to work on elements of her game, okay? She's not that good, not nearly as good as Caitlin Clark. And it's honestly embarrassing that at some points this season, we had people comparing her to Caitlin Clark, right? As if they're even in the same stratosphere, which clearly they're not. But the whole point of this video is to explain why some people are more successful than others, okay? And why is it that the WNBA was very unpopular before Caitlin Clark, okay? Because Caitlin Clark clearly carries herself in a way that actually makes sense for anybody that wants long-term stability and financial success in a league like the WNBA. But Angel Reese is too busy falling into the trap that a lot of women fall into when it comes to instant fame and glory without actually thinking about the long-term consequences of the decisions that she's making. And I want to talk about it because this is a very interesting thing that I'm noticing in regards to the difference between somebody like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Angel Reese has received a lot of backlash lately because in the past she complained about being sexualized, but yet she is going out her way to overtly sexualize herself in an attempt to become more relevant and to be a part of hip hop and pop culture. Take a look.
Bro, Angel Reese be outside. The WNBA's leading rebounder this season pulled up to Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out tour, which was in Chicago last night, and she was rocking some booty shorts with them cheeks fully out. Now, I'm surprised Shaq's thirsty ass ain't pull up because he looked like he really been trying to get at her recently. She participated in all the comedy events, even the rap battles. And when she went head-to-head with Nick Cannon, he ended his verse off by saying, "By the end of the night, I might get you pregnant." So Angel was like, oh, okay, you got bars? Well, I got some bars too. She was like, you know I look good. You want to climb this tree, but you're not getting me pregnant. This shit ain't cheap. Everybody was like, oh.
Super important to me. Well, wait, you was talking about WNBA earlier. Did y'all see Angel Reese on Wildin' Out? Mm-hmm. I've seen Angel Reese wildin' out. I don't know if I've seen her on Wildin' Out. Angel Reese won't sit her fucking ass down.
It's getting hard to.
And that's what I meant to say last time I asked y'all, and we kind of just, you know, black men. I don't want to speak it. We trying, bro. But she won't go sit down somewhere for a second. There's value in it. It's gonna sound like I'm telling a woman what to do, but I ain't. I'm still Angel Reese Hive, but
she 19, 20 years old with a shit ton of money, and she's single. She's running around.
Oh, so she don't want no more. She don't want no more, probably, right?
She may not know what the repercussions are gonna be behind actions.
I know, which is why at that age when you're young.
And when them niggas ain't stopped calling my phone yet, I don't know.
Okay, she should probably have somebody in place to let her know. See, whoever she got is telling her to go pop up everywhere. That's not what Caitlin Clark people were saying, not to make it a racial thing.
They're not saying that at all.
Not to make it a race thing. It's just, we just on some star rookie shit now.
Mm-hmm.
All season, you keep putting yourself in the same box as Caitlin Clark, but it's more than basketball. That's the same, my point with Cole. It's more than rap.
See, I had a lot of respect for Angel Reese until I realized something. Let me explain. See, at first I believed the hype, like, yo, we gotta protect the black sis because they trying to compare her to Caitlin Clark and scrutinize her name. And then I realized Angel Reese is just a female version of the rapper who get a big-ass record deal but can't stop going to the hood because he want everybody to make sure that they know he's still one of them until it's too late. Or the dude who grew up in the suburbs but want to tell everybody he's from the hood because he got a few homies out of there and gets himself in trouble that he should not be in. So you let this chick who got dumped by a white boy for Taylor Swift talk about not going 50-50, but in the same conversation says she couldn't even pay no car note when he left her. Why you entertaining this knowing you got over $1.8 million in endorsements? See, you had us out here supporting you when you was up there crying about being sexualized and being a victim, but every time I see you, you double cheeked up. How I see you double cheeked up more than I see you getting double doubles, and every 5 seconds you talking to a ratchet rapper or somebody's side chick. Make it make sense. If you go on Twitter right now and type in Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, you'll see a bunch of clean images of Caitlin Clark and a bunch of basketball highlights. But Angel Reese, all you see is negative write-ups of her and her ass cheeks out. She's about 2 seasons away becoming a rapper's baby mama versus being a potential Hall of Famer. Now, when all else fails, Angel, don't try to cry victim and say black women are disempowered because you chose to show your ass cheeks instead of being a good role model for what a black woman with some money and fucking making history should look like. You did it to yourself. I'm gone.
Yeah, so that last dude said it perfectly. I really think that he summed up my whole issue and the point that I really want to make in this video when it comes to Angel Reese and her clearly being in the streets, sexualizing herself, promoting her body, right? Putting her body out there for the world to see. She's falling into the trap that a lot of these young women fall into, which is instant fame and glory via promoting her body to the world, okay? Instead of focusing on what's going to actually give her long-term success, financial success, and fame as well too, which is to focus on her game, okay? And that's the main difference between her and Caitlin Clark, right? You don't see Caitlin Clark out there in the streets with her butt cheeks out, with her whole body showing, going on these shows and in these outlets that really don't serve a good purpose for what you should be trying to do and the brand that you should be trying to build as a WNBA player. Caitlin Clark is in the gym working out. That is a vast majority of the content that she posts on social media.
All right, so you made 233 out of 300. This is kind of your routine. Yeah. How do you feel about 233?
I think it's a good number. Threes were a little bit, I wouldn't say lower. I'll still take 63, but I want to be more so around 70 if I can. Yeah. 81 mid-range is really, really good. Usually around 75 there. And anytime I can get to around 90 out of 100 free throws, I like that number. I want to be above 90, but sometimes I'm not. But if I can be at 90, that's what I like to be at. So I'll take that number.
Yeah, so this is why Caitlin Clark led her team to the playoffs, although her team was really bad the year before. Okay, that's why they were in a position to actually draft her. And this is why Angel Reese, her team sucked and was out of the playoffs, right? Didn't make the playoffs. Well, the reason why is because you can see the difference between the amount of work that Caitlin Clark puts in and what she cares about and what she values versus somebody like Angel Reese. And I'm saying this because I want young people, any young person watching this video, to understand that what Caitlin Clark does behind closed doors, right, even when she's not recording, shows up on the court. And when you look at it from a branding perspective, if I'm Nike, if I'm an executive of Nike, Caitlin Clark's game is exciting because she has skills, okay? She has skills that are rare for a WNBA player. And because of that, she attracts a certain type of fan base. Like, for example, parents with daughters who are also playing basketball, and these parents are going to want their daughters to be exposed to a player who is a good role model for them, right? A player that's in the gym, working hard, showing the results of hard work, okay? Somebody that's not out here in the streets with their butt cheeks out on all these hip hop shows, basically in the streets, okay? Putting herself out there in ways that, again, are very sexual. Parents don't want their daughters to be exposed to that. They don't want their daughters to be exposed to somebody like Angel Reese. And this is why Caitlin Clark gets all the branding dollars, right? This is why she gets the marketing dollars. This is why people are talking about her. Well, the reason why is because the people that bring money to the league, which are parents with daughters that play basketball, okay? These are the people that bring money to the league. That's the bread and butter of the league. They are going to prefer to have their daughters be exposed to somebody like Caitlin Clark more so than Angel Reese. They're going to want their daughters to look up to a Caitlin Clark and not an Angel Reese, okay? And it doesn't have anything to do with race. It has everything to do with the way they carry themselves, what they represent, what they put out there to the world, right? The brand that they have created. Angel Reese, to me, seems like she's preparing for a career as an Instagram model, or I don't know, maybe doing OF, maybe, you know, she is preparing for that more so than a long career in the WNBA. And that's not to say that she's going to fizzle out of the WNBA. I don't know, but I'm just saying that she is not building a brand that, in my opinion, is a brand that she's going to be able to make serious money from in the long term, right? Right now, yes, you're very popular, but it's because of Caitlin Clark and the fact that she's been compared to Caitlin Clark. But as time goes on, and Caitlin Clark continues to progress, because at some point she will be the league MVP. No doubt. I mean, she basically already is the league MVP, let's be honest, in the true definition of the phrase, right? MVP. She is the MVP. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. But eventually, Caitlin Clark is going to continue to progress. She's going to continue to get bigger. She's going to get a lot more sponsorships. She's going to get a lot more endorsements because her game is going to get better, right? Angel Reese, on the other hand, I personally think that if she continues to kind of, you know, be mediocre, right? And I think right now she's mediocre. She's not great. Again, a lot of her name recognition comes from being compared to Caitlin Clark. But if her game doesn't get better, if she doesn't start winning games, then all of those marketing dollars, those branding dollars that Angel Reese is getting right now, that's going to fizzle out. It's going to go away because the real money in the WNBA is not with the hip hop audience, right? That's might be what she thinks. But if that's where the money was at, if those people actually cared about WNBA, they would have been watching WNBA before Caitlin Clark. The WNBA has relevance because, again, you have those parents. You have people with money that are actually willing to spend the money on the WNBA, right? Those are the people that are bringing money to the league. So when you have these players out here boohoo whining and crying about Caitlin Clark getting all of the branding dollars and the deals and the endorsements, well, how can you boohoo whine and cry when this is what you're doing? Look at what Angel Reese is doing. Look at what she's putting out there to the world. She's not building a brand that, in my opinion, is good for long-term financial success, right? She's out here trying to keep up with the Joneses, and she ain't making that much money. She's making a decent amount of money, but she's not making that much money. So, again, when that money fizzles out, okay, what are you going to do? Because she already admitted that the WNBA salary isn't enough for her to even pay her rent. So if you know that you can't maintain your lifestyle with WNBA money, then you might want to make sure you're doing whatever you can to protect your brand and to make sure you're building a brand that is going to ensure that you have long-term financial success. But that's not what she's doing. She's not putting out videos of her working out in the gym, putting in the work. And I'm not saying she has to do that, but I'm just saying, when you're putting out videos of yourself clubbing with the hip hop audience out here in these streets, you know, if you're putting out that type of content, but Caitlin Clark is putting out content of her in the gym working, you can't boohoo, whine, and cry when you're not getting the same deals that she's getting and the same opportunities that she's getting and the same attention that she's getting. You can't boohoo, whine, and cry when people talk about how good she is and the fact that you're not that good. And you definitely can't boohoo, whine, and cry about being sexualized when you're out here in the streets sexualizing yourself, putting your body out there to the world to see so that you can get short-term fame. But the long-term consequences of that when it comes to your brand and the type of audience that actually is responsible for the money that you make, I'm just saying, I don't think that it's a good look. I really don't, right? I don't think that Angel Reese is making the right moves. She's making the type of moves that you see in athletes that go broke, right? After a few years, because again, their head is in the wrong place. They're not thinking correctly, and they have bad people in their corner. They have bad advisors in their corner. And that is what's happening here. And then they'll boohoo, whine, and cry and blame the system and blame the white man and blame everybody else, racism, sexism, misogyny. They'll blame everybody else except themselves, right? But you can't say that people didn't try to warn you and tell you that you're making the wrong moves and that you might want to get in the gym, right? You might want to focus on your game and build your brand as a player that young girls can look up to, a good role model for young girls, for the fans. You might want to build up that type of brand and focus on that instead of being out here in these streets trying to impress these people who are not going to give a damn about you, who are going to forget about you after you become irrelevant in 3 to 4 years because you're not that good. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.